So I'm Mark Chichon. I'm currently the HR manager for Gib Telecom, a telecommunications provider in Gibraltar. Oh, well, how old was I when I started in the company? Well, I was 18 and I joined Gib Telecom, which was a new venture. It used to be the government telephone department. So in 1990, they decided to privatize and we became Gibraltar 9X Communications Limited. And I started off as a field engineer, going around clearing the backlog of applications for telephone service that we had back there. We even had applications from 1973. And it was an interesting project to be able to get everything up to date back in the day. So yeah, I did a lot of installation work, mainly mentored by some of the excellent engineers that we had at the time for the technology that was around in the time. So I learned a lot at a very early stage in that area of the business. But what was clear to me was that because most of us were so young and some individuals had transferred from other government departments and had already had promotions, I knew that at some stage I needed to move out of the field engineering type role if I wanted to make Gib Telecom a career. And back in those days, you'd join an organization and stay there until you retired. So I had to reinvent myself. So I was offered an opportunity to work at the main distribution frame. The main distribution frame is the hub where all telephone lines at the time sprung from. So if you imagine a spring, it starts somewhere, you know, and then cascades into your home and ends up as a telephone on your table. That's where I worked. I used to do the connections up in the MDF, what was known as the main distribution frame for telephone service. In those days, technology was not as it is today, as complex. You know, it was basically cables and a telephone at either end. So I worked there for about 3 or 4 years, doing a lot of faults, diagnostics, and a lot of new installs from the mainframe area of the business. And after about 2 years, I decided, you know, I've learned enough here, and I moved into customer care. So I went from running cables to sitting at a desk providing customer services. Back then, customer services was a new concept because it was the first time we ever had a shop and were selling our products. So it was a journey of discovery and I learned a lot. And within that environment, I worked in customer care. I worked as a cashier. I even worked in arrears and in fault reporting. So there I was there for about 4 or 5 years, and obviously at that stage I'd already been with the company for around 8 years, and an opportunity came along to join the finance team as a finance clerk. So off I went, took the opportunity, joined the team, and that was me for the next 2 years, where within those 2 years I decided to up my skill set in finance, and I went through the AAT training courses at the time. And after 2 years, I was lucky enough to be promoted into what was known then as stores, but it was mainly around procurement. So I was promoted into that role in around 2000, 23 years ago. You know, from a HR perspective, especially me at the helm of HR within Gib Telecom, I'm always looking for people that want to seek those opportunities. So you need to seek opportunities where sometimes, you know, perceptually they're not there. So if you're in a role and you join Gib Telecom as a customer care agent, you know, you'll be able to get a better insight in what else we have to offer. So it ranges. You can go into technology and develop from there, or you can go into finance, marketing, enterprise, procurement, buildings and stores, even infrastructure design. And now we're rolling out our fiber network, so it's an added opportunity that we can offer anybody joining the organization. Yeah, so first of all, the skills or the qualities and behaviors even that we're looking for is people with growth mindset, people that want to develop, people that want to take up opportunity. In terms of skills can be acquired. You know, not everybody goes to university these days, and some people are very talented even if they don't. So we're always there to offer, at least my team are from a HR perspective, to offer opportunities to young people who have an appetite for success. So if you want to grow, you want to develop, you want to think outside the box in terms of what your career is, we'll be able to assist in your journey. And sometimes you don't know what you want at a young age, and I didn't either, you know. And it's a journey of discovery, and it's so long as you have that growth mindset, you'll be able to achieve whatever you need to achieve in any organization, not only GIP Telecom. So in terms of learning and development, what GIP Telecom does, mainly we offer opportunities from the onset. We're always very open and clear about that to our new recruits, that we have a healthy training budget, that we have pathways for individuals that want to develop. So it's always a yes from GIP Telecom for anybody that wants to develop, so long as it's relevant and useful to the role. I think it's important that when people join the organization, they always have some kind of purpose or vision of what they want to do. And even if they don't, you know, our office is always there to be able to assist them in finding that mission, finding that passion that they may have for whatever they want to go into. So, wow, my major accomplishments. I think for me, it's the journey itself. You know, it's been a 33-year journey, very diverse journey. I've been lucky and privileged enough to be given the opportunities. And when you do, you need to take hold of them, you know. And so my learning, every day is a learning day for me. So it's all about gaining those skill sets. You know, again, I talk a lot about growth mindset. You know, so long as you've got a growth mindset and you set yourself realistic goals and you're willing to learn, the journey has no other pathway than to be a successful one. I think for me, it's all about tapping into everything. And the important thing that I advise the younger members of our staff is gain the knowledge, bank it, keep it there, and when the opportunity arises, because they will arise at some stage, you're not caught out and you have something to offer. You know, so long as you do that, you'll be fine.